It's great to see you again.
Great to see you.
I did not know, so this is the second time we've talked, and I just noticed it in this film, the second part. Are you a lefty?
I am a lefty. Are you a lefty?
I saw you writing, and I'm like, no way. And we didn't talk about that last time.
I know. I am a lefty, and
so am I.
The funny thing is, it's like when I'm writing the letters, sometimes we'll have to have like a hand double come in because I'm always writing from here and here and here. So, but we'd always be like, she has to be lefty because Lana's always left-handed.
Right.
But yeah, I am left-handed.
And yeah, we get the marks on our hand.
Yes.
The scissor situation.
Yes.
Why do left-handed people? You go to a
Why
restaurant.
are we the best?
We are the best. Yeah. But when you see like a waiter or waitress at a restaurant and they're a lefty, we always point that out.
Yeah,
like right-handed people will go, "Oh, you're a righty," or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why we do that. I think we just think we're the best and we want to share. Well, we're kind of tribal, right? So you're like, my people.
We are.
Yes.
We are the coolest. How much fun was it to get back into this role?
Oh, it was so fun and so refreshing. It was like coming home, you know? I mean, seeing my friends all over again and being back in the house, and it was truly like coming home. And I felt like we didn't know that we were gonna get a 2 and 3 when we made the first one. So when I got the call about doing a sequel, I was just so thrilled because I felt like Lara Jean just has so much more growing to do, and I didn't think her story was over, and so I felt very fortunate that I got the opportunity to keep telling her story and watch her grow up, which is fun.
It's going to be Valentine's weekend when this is out. People are going to be watching it.
Yeah.
Tell me why this is the perfect date night movie.
It's the perfect date night movie because I know why. Because when you're watching it, you feel a lot. You're kind of like, you're happy, you're sad, you're crying, you're laughing. And I think that that's important in a partner, that they're like emotionally available. And so if it's like your first date and you watch this movie, you can kind of like side eye and see if they're feeling anything. And if they're not feeling anything when you watch this movie, you're like, bye, great to see you, bye. So I think it's a perfect like test, you know, if they're emotionally available.
Even at any stage of the relationship,
There you go, yes.
Do you write letters?
Of course I do.
See, I don't think I do anymore as much.
Really?
This is another thing that I noticed in this film.
Well, I think that number one, the To All the Boys whole franchise is all about letters. It's based on letters. So if I didn't write letters myself, I'd be like, what are you doing, Lana? You're horrible at your job. But I think that I've always written letters, like my family and I have always written letters to communicate with each other. I'm very old-fashioned like that. Like I love receiving letters in the mail. So I continue to do that, and I do it now even more because of the movie. But I've done that since I was a kid.
It made me think that, because we always text, we email, we instant message.
Yeah.
But there's that art, especially the lost letters, and I'm not remembering anything in this movie, but there are things that are found in this story. I guess that was in the trailer. But still, it's, you know, it's a lost art.
It is, but there's nothing like receiving a letter in the mail. And even if it's just like a little postcard that doesn't say much, or maybe it just says, love Lana, like, or like, you're doing good, sweetie, grandma. And you're like, yes, I did it. And then you could put it up and always look back at it. And, you know, I don't go back through my texts, you know? So I don't know. It's nice to have something tangible.
Hey, man, it's great to see you again. H-Town in the house.
Come on, man.
Man, do guys get a bad rap in movies like this?
I don't know.
I don't want no spoilers.
Do they get a bad rap?
Yeah, because, you know, I think guys kind of get portrayed as that we don't, because, you know, girls obviously the romance and things like that. It's Valentine's Day, and we're going to get into that here in a minute. Yeah. But I feel like guys, you know, like girls like do the best gifts. We kind of like go to the store, get the candy. Here you go, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. We do that to ourselves.
Do we? That's where I'm going.
That's
with
what
it.
I think. I think we do that to ourselves. I think guys just ultimately don't put. Not all guys, of course. Some guys are amazing at it, and some girls are trash at Valentine's Day too. So like, I mean, we're all good and we're all bad at it. I think though we pay attention to different details.
I believe so.
I think that's the differentiation there.
How cool was it to get back on the set, get back at this? And I love this story because, and I asked that opening question because it is for guys, it is for girls. Everybody's going to get their perspective of this story.
Absolutely.
So when you get back to filming this, what was that?
It felt amazing. It felt so great, man. It was. I love Lana so much. I love everyone that's a part of our crew. I love Michael Fimignari. I love Matt Kaplan, Aubrey Bendix, Robin Marsh. I love Netflix. I love fucking everyone that's a part of this movie. So being able to go back and just like, you know, do our job, but then connect and have camaraderie again was that connection. That was just...
Something I didn't ask you at the last one.
What's that?
Do you write letters? Like, I don't know if I write now. Email, because email can be good too, but letters seem to. This always reminds me how personal letters can be. Do you write letters? I don't think I really do anymore.
I write letters, but holidays or birthdays or whatever it is, or special events. But uninspired? You mean just like out of the blue?
Yeah, because I don't know if I just write anymore.
I definitely have, and I do it usually in cute ways. But then sometimes if something is just necessary, like maybe if there was a conflict and it wasn't rectified, and years have passed, I have written letters.
That's made me think of it. The letters, obviously, based on the story. And I'm like, gosh, I don't think I write anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of a lost art form.
It really is. Why is this the perfect date night movie?
Man, you got romance, you got comedy, you got drama, you got all these different elements in a stylized, digestible, inhalable form. And if you liked the first one, fucking love the second one.
I love
Hopefully,
No,
Did
absolutely.
you? Did you see?
I did.
You saw the second one?
I did, and I feel like I don't have to give up my man card for it either.
Come on, man.
See, no, and that's why it is for everybody.
Yeah.
I giggled at some scenes. There were some things that I was like, oh, okay, because it's just that way of dealing with the romance.
I think men should be emotional. I think there's a huge issue in our society where men are just taught to not feel and not cry and like push everything down, and it creates this toxicity that permeates every single decision and every single response and reaction in their daily lives. It's why women are afraid to reject men when men are like coming on to them in an inappropriate way, because if they reject them, what if they get even more angry and then are aggressive? It's like, we should feel emotions. If you feel emotions, you're not going to want to freak out at every little thing, and your ego is not going to be hurt when someone goes, no, I'm okay,
This is not just us talking. This is like turning into a therapy session. So we cannot let another year and a half go by because I need to see you again. I'll make an appointment with your assistant.
Make an appointment, man. We could do hours instead
I'm
of
kidding.
50s.
Hey, great work. You're a busy guy. Always great to see you. Always great to talk with you. And you're just amazing.
Thank you so
much. You're
much.
down to earth.
Oh, thank
God, it's like
Cool. Sure, no problem. Dave Morales, Houston, Texas.
you have a compressor and like an equalizer and everything. Just
He's
like,
talking about my voice. I want to be clear about that. I
it's
didn't.
beautiful. Like, you have a great voice. Like, I hope that you know that.
Thank you.
It's really
I've heard
good.
it. I've heard it before.
Okay, good.
It was weird, like when I did radio.
Yeah.
And even now, when I'm in a promo,
Uh-huh.
and I'll hear my voice like on something, and I go, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, you're an actor.
Yeah.
When you and you're a great actor. So, but when you see
Appreciate
yourself
that.
on screen, do you? Because some people don't.
Yeah, I've never gone out of my way to watch things that I do. I love the work and I love doing the work. I'm watching playback. I go to the Village. I do the thing. I watch playback, and like I make my adjustments. I talk to the director, do the thing, and it's like once I know that I'm happy with what I just did, and the director says, "I'm happy. You happy? Can we move on?" I say, "Absolutely." I leave it. And it is what it is. And then eventually it comes back together. I'll see something at a premiere, or I've done a project before and didn't see it until like it happened to be a re-airing on an airplane that I was on. And I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna like watch it now.
No, but
Like, here we go. But I never really gone out of my way to do it. But like, yeah, I think that especially like at the very beginning of it, I was like, oh, that's what I sound like and look like when I come across. That's what that face feels like.
Oh, I want to be clear that I totally enjoy hearing myself.
Good, great, as you should.
But I do sometimes criticize myself. I'll go, I should have paused. And
Oh, absolutely.
I
We all
should- the
do. Because
inflection was bad.
because we're humans and we should be our best friends, but we tend to be our like toughest critic. Blah 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 blah.
Tell me about that being said.
Yeah.
What was the life on the set like? Because it seems you're new to the story.
Yeah.
And it seems like you all are really good friends. Like there's drama.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the chemistry is obviously there.
So that's the palpable thing when you're watching it, where like the film is concerned. That's that's hopefully that's the case.
It
I
is,
mean,
for me, yeah.
We genuinely all love each other. There's usually at least a bad apple or a rotten nut somewhere in the mix here, and there just isn't.
Right.
For this franchise, for this project, like we all like I'm amped that I have 2 more after this, because I not only get to have my lunch, but I get to like be with Lana and Noah and Jenny and hang out and talk and be friends, because that's it's honest, it's real, and so I'm glad that
It
that's
totally
received.
worked. I could see. I mean, there's the drama elements, obviously. Okay, so do you write letters? Because I've learned today, as I've talked to every cast member, I just don't know if I email, text, message. I don't know if I write anymore.
I'm a phone call guy. I mean,
Okay.
the thing that I do when I'm notating or doing like script work or doing notes for like a project I'm producing or whatever the case may be, I love my iPad and my Apple Pencil. That is where I do my writing most of the time. Like that's the only time I'm really doing it. I'm a faster typer. I'm
Right.
an even faster talker, so I would prefer to just do that.
Right.
Like that's my preferred means of communication.
But there's a scene in this movie where she receives a letter in the mail. I only get flyers. Come in, we
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
your truck. Yeah, we all drive trucks in Texas.
Yeah.
But that's all I get.
Yeah.
But to get a letter, I think would be, with like
Handwritten.
the stamps and the.
Totally. And I put that letter together. I wrote it. I hand wrote the letter, addressed it, stamped it, the whole thing. Like I specifically wanted to, like John Ambrose to actually create that thing, and props was like, here you go. And so I got to, like,
That's cool.
verbatim write the thing out, and it's a fun little thing that I've actually never told anybody. You have the exclusive drop there. Somebody else might have, but anyway.
No, thank you for sharing that with
Absolutely.
me. Okay, we'll close with this. Why is this the perfect date night movie?
It's a perfect date night movie. It's a perfect date night movie because it's again, yes, it's a romantic film for sure, but I keep harping on this thing. It is a film about human beings and real feelings, and I think it's for everybody, right? I think it's for all ages. I think that the beginning of the demographic for a film like this is a demographic. It's like an age where you can understand the words that are coming out of our mouth all the way until you just can't hear them anymore. I think that is the window for this film. It's for everybody. There's all sorts of different relationships, platonic, romantic, that kind of come back together, and some fall apart. For all different ages, and I think that the honest nature of the film is what will incite some great conversation. And then for me, a date night is all about that, and maybe a little wine.
You're a cool dude, man.
Hey,
Seriously, I
likewise.
really enjoyed this
Thank
conversation.
you. Good. Likewise.
Thank you so
Likewise.
much,
It's
man.
really
Wow,
nice to meet you.
You're cool, man.
Thank you, dude.
It's great to see you again.
Good to see you.
I went back to our last interview,
Ooh.
and I have some new questions for you in
Oh,
this
no,
one.
I'm scared.
No, these are fun. These are great.
Okay.
And I can't believe I didn't ask this at the last one.
Huh.
Where did these stories begin for you?
These stories began from my own life. I wrote love letters to some boys when I was trying to get over them. Over the course of many years, I saved them in a hat box. And then years later, I thought, what would have happened if those letters had been sent out? And that was the genesis of To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
I love that. I didn't ask you that last time.
I can't believe it.
I think I was nervous.
Oh, no.
I was so excited because here's my man card. But why do we always say it when it's a romantic movie like that?
have no
I love
idea.
this story.
Why do you?
I don't know. Maybe it's this could be a therapy session for
I
us
think it
today.
should be.
Yeah, I think we kind of, are we trying to, is it a wall that we put
I
up?
think you feel embarrassed maybe about like emotions, perhaps, and not wanting to, seem soft. But I think that, love, what is soft about that? It's like sort of when people look back at their lives, they go, what was really important? It's like your loved ones.
You're right.
So why shouldn't you value that? Why shouldn't you want to watch romantic comedy?
You're right. I love them. No, I don't. I'm the first one, but it's just I feel like I have to go. Oh, okay.
No, you don't have to do that. You don't
You
need
don't.
to.
We can be proud
No
and watch
apologies.
that. Describe the setting when you wrote these stories. I envisioned candles, soft music. Okay, I'm wrong. Tell me the setting.
Pajamas, pen and paper, writing for all hours of the night, and like different beverages like teas and juices.
No, I hear you. How long does it take for you to sit down and actually write one of these?
It's hard for me to sit down and do it. And then I often think of writing like surfing, which I don't actually surf, but I do understand what it means to go out there into the ocean and you're waiting for your wave. And then you catch that wave and then I just ride it all the way to shore. As long as the inspiration's there, I just keep going because you never know when the next wave's going to come. But you do have to be out there in the ocean and like do the work of showing up for it.
Yeah. As an author, when you know that these are going to be made into big motion pictures. By the way, this second one it has bells and whistles and toys and things that were. We all walked out of it. The group that I was with, the journalists, and we said, "Wow, this one's polished." Like the first one's really good. This one, you can tell it's like, wow. Am I right?
Thank you.
Okay, it really, it's so well done.
Thank you.
So my original question to you is, as an author, and you know that your stories are getting made into a motion picture, how does that make you feel?
It's really overwhelming. It's exciting. I think being able to tell story in a different medium is just like a really cool opportunity that I didn't know I would have. So on this film, getting able to be a part of the producer team and be there from the very beginning and go on like, location scouting and like working on costumes with the costume designer and all of that is, it's still what I do as a writer because you're creating worlds, but it's just a different way of approaching it. And also being on a team. I love being on a team. And being on a team with people who are really good at their jobs, it's just like a real privilege.
Couples are going to see this movie together Valentine's weekend. Do they need? What's your advice to couples sitting down to?
I think order in some good takeout, pop a bottle of wine if you're of age.
Okay, of course, of course,
and enjoy it.
Not doing this like reacting. You better act like that, or some parts you better not act like that. Anyway, look, I just love it, and I love your stories, and I can't wait for more.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Before I fall, dude, thanks for that.
Thank you, yeah.
I know there were a lot of people that worked on it, but when I was going through your credit list and all that,
Yeah.
I was researching you. I said, oh, wow, I remember that. That was a great film.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Zoe Deutsch is an incredible actress, and now she's blown up even bigger from the time we made that one.
Absolutely, and thank you for these as well.
Yeah.
A couple of the actors, I got to get this out of the way, have mentioned a part 3.
There is going to be a part 3.
Dude, all right, I knew you were the one to ask. 'Cause it slipped a couple of times, and I didn't want to, I know there's books.
Yes.
So I wanted to
There are
make
3
sure.
books, and we wanted to make sure we told, Jenny Han's stories properly. And
Perfect.
So there will be 3 movies.
Thank you for confirming that.
You got
Yeah, a
it.
couple of the actors have said that because they knew my excitement, and I had talked with them for the first one.
Yeah.
And so when they dropped it a couple times, I said, oh, should they have said that? Here we go. What drew you to this story?
I think we were looking to make romantic comedies in the young adult teen space, and as I started to read a bunch of books, Jenny Han's really stood out as a special story that hadn't been told in this fashion. And so I think, again, coming at it from a different angle where you had a Korean-American family and this quirky, funny, amazing young female lead, it felt like that was something that at least for my company, we wanted to tell us.
Well, that's interesting, and I want to go even more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So did you come as a producer, and you've done amazing projects, but I know you probably get pitched all the time, even on the street, people say, hey, I got this story. So did this book just fall into your lap, or was there somebody? That's
No.
what I've always been fascinated
It was
by.
a book that had been around for a couple years, and I just cold called Jenny Han, and I said, look, this is a special story, and I know that the rights are available, and I would love the opportunity to come and pitch you on why I'm the right producer to help make it for you. And that's kind of how it started. And so Jenny and I got together, and we had lunch, and we talked about how we would go about doing it and making sure that we stayed true to the Korean-American lead, and we found Lana Condor.
You know what's crazy? I talked to her a little while ago, and I asked her the question, what is it like as an author when you get your story told on the big screen like this? You
Yeah.
made your motion picture, now you get 3 of them. What is it like? She goes, it's unbelievable. It's like blown away. Now I'm hearing this is great. I'm getting the full
Yeah,
project.
and it's one of those things that, look, credit to Jenny and
Yeah.
the actors and our whole team. We built a little family, and I think it starts with what she created in these books and the charm that is inside of them. And she, gave us the opportunity, and we adapted them, and we found Michael Famignari directed this new movie, and he did an incredible job. And he's such a talent, and the chemistry between Noah Centineo and Lana Condor, and now Jordan Fisher, is pretty cool.
He's really cool. Talk to him as well.
He's
They're all
amazing.
great.
They're great.
Okay, so we'll close with this. It's Valentine's weekend. People are going to be watching this. I've asked all the actors, I've asked the entire cast, and Jenny, this question. I'm going to ask you.
All right.
Why is this the perfect date night movie?
Because you get Noah Centineo and Lana Condor. Nothing
Dude.
better.
You're good. One of the actors, I won't tell you who, maybe later, said, so you can do this, you can look at certain scenes and make sure, when there's a little bit of the drama, you're like, how are you going to react to that? Anyway, but yeah, you do get it all in this one.
Thank you.